But our last show was right before COVID. And then when COVID hit, little did we know that was going to be our last time, all three of us being in the booth together. So, there's something like that for you. Anyways, man, I call this the Journeyman Podcast because I'm in a stage or point in my life where I'm realizing that I have so much more life to live. First of all, here's my philosophy. Everybody says I don't have time for that, or it's not worth my time, or you wasted my time. First of all, in my opinion, we're all on borrowed time. We're all on time that it never belonged to us in the first place. So with that being said, man, it's just about living your life to the fullest. I am a man of God, you know what I mean? I'm not perfect. For sure I'm not. I'm human. I like the title, man of God in training. It's still some things I struggle with, but, I'm just keeping it honest with y'all, man. That's just me. Let's see. I really didn't plan on doing the first episode today, but today I'm off from work and I'm just sitting here like, damn, like I really have nothing to do. So I got up this morning, went to go run, and here we are. Let's see. What else do y'all need to know? Funny story. I bought all this equipment, I want to say 2019. So I bought all of this equipment in 2019. In 2020, I was supposed to jump off the porch with it. But I got complacent, I was comfortable, lazy, you know what I mean? I thought I had it all figured out when I, got accepted into grad school, per se. Not all the way figured out, but I was like, I know where I'm going. And there's nothing wrong with knowing where you're going, but at the same time, you got to be passionate about something. And when I got into grad school and I just really looked at my life, I discovered that I don't really have a passion, and this is the closest thing to it. So yeah, but yeah, man, this is gonna be just a starter episode. I'm really not gonna be talking about nothing major. We just gonna talk about things to come. And yeah, so the format of this is that I'm only gonna record 30 minutes because right now I'm by myself. I might, and keyword might, get a co-host, and I might do an hour if I figure things out. But if I'm being honest with you right now, I'm cool doing what I'm doing right now. And this is really just like therapy. I get my thoughts off and everything like that. And, just tell you the life experiences that I lived. And hopefully you can avoid these pitfalls, And they're not all pitfalls, There's stories of triumph, there's stories of pain, sadness, sorrow, you know what I mean? Basically life in its fullest. I want to give a big shout out to my mother. My mother is a very important person in my life. She's always driven me to be better and to be more than what I am now. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I'm not going to tell my mother's age, but my mom is still going strong. Even with all the adversity that she has faced in life, my mom is still going strong. And to me, that's inspirational because to be knocked down so many times and to keep getting back up, that's just amazing to me. Because I'll be honest with you, my mom is built different, Things that she's been through, I don't think I could have did, you know what I mean? But I'm here now, and as a 22-year-old black man, you got to make your own way. You know what I mean? So I took the college route, and it's been paying off so far. But as I really look at my career, don't get me wrong, I love to help people, but at the same time, I just don't want to hear everybody's problems forever. So think of this as me preparing for retirement, and I haven't even hit my career yet. So I'm ass backwards like that, but it is what it is, man. Shout out to my dad. there's one thing that my dad has taught me, and it's always stuck with me. Be a leader and not a follower. You know, I think my philosophy is that everybody is a leader in their own right. You know, there's natural born leaders, and then there's those that have to be groomed, you know. And then there's those that they just need that spark. You know what I mean? They just need that one spark that will get them right, and that'll, you know, take them to the promised land. You know, but that spark hasn't come yet. You know, and that spark can come when you're 15 or you're 50, in my personal opinion. But yeah, man, my mom's hustle and my dad's lesson on just being a leader, not a follower, that has stuck with me throughout the years. You know, and I've always tried to do my best to uphold those standards. And the thing about it is it sounds like, man, they be, you know, digging off into my ass. But really, man, that's just love. That's the most loving part about both of them. You know what I'm saying? They shower me with love. If it's one thing in my childhood I can say is that I knew I was always loved. You know what I'm saying? So I personally, man, I've been blessed in that regard. But let's get into it. So let me just break down, honestly, the format of this podcast. I'm going to try to stick with it, y'all, this format. But sometimes, man, I just get an idea or a burst of creativity, and I just shoot it straight. So we have like 4 segments in every show. So the first segment would be like music highlight of the week. I listen to a lot of different artists, albums, mixtapes, EPs, songs, artists, you name it. Like, bro, I'm pretty much in there. I'm gonna be honest with you. It definitely is gonna be hip hop and R&B biased, but you know, I mess with a little jazz. There's a couple of pop songs that jam. You know what I mean? I need to be educated in rock, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like country. I'm not hating on it. It's just not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not against listening to some fire country. Like, and what I mean by that is, if you want me to listen to a country song, it has to be heat. Like, don't give me like one of those songs that's in the middle of your playlist that you didn't even know you had, and it's alright. Give me your go-to. Like, every single time that you listen to this genre, you have to play this song at some point in your jam session. You know what I mean? The next segment, is what's happening. That's just real news events. I'm gonna do my best to research them thoroughly, and I'll cover about 3 events. You know what I mean? If you've been living under a rock, them boys stormed the Capitol. The good old boys, as I like to call them. And let me say it like this: y'all tripping, because if it was BLM, hey, boy, they would have been sending us to jail. It would have been open season on black people. Straight up. Straight up. You don't have to agree with me, but you do have to respect this pimping at which I'm speaking. It's just a fact, bro. It is what it is. The third segment is topic of the day. Bro, topic of the day is just pretty much what I do, is where I just speak on life. I'm not a pro at life. This is the Journeyman Podcast, so I'm just going to be talking about my experiences and what I learned from them, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you can learn something too. If not, hey, yo, you just heard like a crazy ass story. But it's either you mess with it or you don't. And then the last section is sports, where I just talk about sports, all things sports. I love sports. Sports have been a big factor of my life. I met some pretty great people through sports, you know, all that. So I love it, you know what I mean? And we just gonna keep rocking. In the sports world, I have to speak on it, yo. The Brooklyn Nets finally got James Harden. It was like a big little deal at the beginning of the season, but them boys actually got James Harden. And let me tell you what this means, okay? Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. A very scary big three in the East. Me and my homeboys were talking about it, last night, and it's crazy how these big threes just how they're born. I feel like they're very just spontaneous. Cause it's like, yeah, they plan to play together, right? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, LeBron wanted to play with D Wade and Chris Bosh. Straight up. That's his homeboys. And honestly, fam, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play with some of your best friends that just happen to be as cold as you or close to it, do it. Because at the end of the day, what do we remember the greats by? Championships. Don't nobody care about how many points you scored, how many assists you have, how many rebounds you have. You have to be a champion to be solidified with the greats. It sucks, but it's true. There's only a few individuals, really one, in my personal opinion, that transcends that conversation. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson did not win the championship, but let me tell you what Allen Iverson did. A lot of the things that dudes do now with the tattoos, the clothes, just young brothers being themselves in the public eye, Allen Iverson made that cool. He made that cool. Dudes wasn't really tatted like that until AI came through. Dudes wasn't rocking the jewelry until AI came through. The clothes, AI. Now, okay, the clothes is kind of like a little debatable because now some of the top players be dressing a little weird. But I'm not hating. I'm just saying though, AI like birthed that. He paved the way. And everybody loves AI. He's just a genuine dude. It's kind of like he's like that kid that you went to school with. He was in your class, and it was like nobody really had beef with him because you would look like a hater if you did. Like, bro, everybody loves AI. But yeah, man, I think that's the only one who's transcended. Unless I'm forgetting some people. But when I'm more calculated and sharp, I will definitely give y'all the sauce on that, man, because I could talk sports all day. But yeah, man, back to this trade. It was a 4-team trade. So you had Indiana in there. You had the Cavaliers in there. And you had the Rockets. The Rockets got a whole bunch of picks in Victor Oladipo. Personally, I'm not going to trash Victor Oladipo. But I just don't think Victor Oladipo is going to evolve more than what he is now. And what he is nice. He's a solid piece. I think the Rockets are buying all in with John Wall, which I don't mind if they do because John Wall has proven that he is healthy and he's ready to go. He's been playing great. DeMarcus Cousins, he's still trying to get back into it, but John Wall is legit, bro. Straight up. The Pacers. The Pacers are a nice young team. I think they got better with Karis LeVert, personally. I think they're a winner in this trade. Cleveland is kind of they got Jared Allen. And they got Prince. Prince is a nice little knockdown shooter. And Jared Allen, he gets boards and he plays defense, which is cool. And I think they could play him instantly because I think he has a higher motor than some of the current guys that the Cavaliers have. Also, as Andre Drummond has developed his game and has evolved more into like just a really big power forward who can also play center, I think Jared Allen is good enough to start him at the 5 for them. So that's my personal opinion. That's my take on it. The winners of this trade, obviously, Uh, I'm going to have to say the Pacers and the Nets. And let me tell you why. The Nets did give a lot of their bench, but the scoring output that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were producing was already great enough to where the bench didn't really have to get off. Now, they are definitely hurt by Caris LeVert's absence, so they'll need to make up for that, but that's why they got James Harden. James Harden right now in his career could double the output of what Caris LeVert was doing. And I keep harping on Caris LeVert because I think he was an essential piece for that team. So was Jared Allen, but Caris LeVert, man, he was a solid dude. You know what I mean? But they still have Spence. They still have Dinwiddie. Prince is going to hurt them too. You know, a guy who can knock down the three. He could somewhat get his own shot, and he could play defense. You know what I mean? So, but all in all, I think the Nets won this deal. And then the Pacers, because, like I said, I'm very high on Caris LeVert. So I think that Caris with Sabonis, Miles Turner, and Brogdon, I think that'll be solid. Need a little bit more shooting, but yeah. But I think Caris is going to come in and help with that. So that'll be solid. And damn, I've been talking for a while. That's already about 20 minutes. But yeah, so this episode might be shorter than 30 minutes. I'm not going to lie to y'all. You know, the purpose of it was just to give you the format, the rundown of how things are going to go in the future, and so on and so forth. But I got about 10 minutes left, so let me end on this tidbit. Topic of the day, failure. You know something? What I've really realized is that one of my biggest setbacks is I'm scared to fail. Because the way I've been raised to think 5 steps ahead. And if I get on the 3rd step, I'm thinking 5 more ahead. You know what I mean? Because I'm stuttering because I'm about to get passionate. I've been taught to always have your ducks in a row. Okay? And what that basically means is plan, and execute. But here's where that execution part gets tricky. If I see failure, I get nervous to execute. But why is that? When I planned. And if the plan doesn't work out, so what? Pick up and keep moving. But that's one thing I'm learning right now is to pick up and keep moving. You know, I started this podcast, man, because I just really wanted y'all to know that we're all in this together and life is a true journey. You know what I mean? And at 22, I done came a long way, but I have so much ground to still cover. But the one thing that I'm learning now that's going to help, I think everybody, don't be afraid to fail. Failure is the best teacher. That's how you gain experience. That's how you become a better human being all around. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to fail. For real. If you believe in God, God got it covered. Your life is in His hands. And if you don't believe, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's you. But I will say this. It still applies to you, though. Don't be scared to fail. Keep going. Keep your head up and keep it pushing, man, because a lot of times we see people posting on the gram, posting on Facebook, posting on Twitter, Snapchat, all that. They're posting all their success. But you don't know what they had to go through to get that new car. You don't know what they had to go through to get that new house. Yo, you don't even know what they had to go through to get to the point to where them and their current partner are about to get married. There's levels to that. You know what I'm saying? And the only way you're going to really discover that is if you start living. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to fail, man. For real. All right, whatever you're going through, stick with it, keep pushing. And if plan A don't work, rewrite it, and let's go to plan B. Because in my head, plan B is just another plan to make plan A work. So, straight up. I'm sorry about this being a little choppy and whatnot, y'all, but we gonna get right for sure. But that's all I got for today, man. I appreciate y'all, and I'm out. Peace.